Hello, and welcome to the Vocational Preschool for 2020-21. I'm Cinda Hummel. I'm the preschool director, and along with Mrs. Fay, we will be the adults who will be with your children this year. There will be 16 children in the morning class and 14 in the afternoon class. We'll not be able to have a parent meeting this year, so in lieu of that, I have recorded what I would normally talk to parents about at the parent meeting. You're able to watch that prior to coming to open house so that you'll feel more comfortable about what you will see and maybe have formulated some questions that you might like to ask at the open house. If you're a returning family, welcome back. Much of what you'll hear are things that you may already know. All right. Let's start with your child coming into school. And for the first week only, we have gotten permission for parents who are wearing a mask to park and walk their child in through the security door and come in and drop their child off at preschool, and then go out the door directly in front of them that goes past our little garden, and you'll walk around to the car and you will leave from there. But that's for the first week only. After that, high school students will be walking out to your car to get your child out of the car and walk them into the building. When they come into the building, I will be waiting to greet them, or Mrs. Fay, and we will take their temperature, make sure that their mask is up over their nose, and then make sure that they get into preschool safely, where they'll hang up their book bag, take off their coat if they have one, and go wash their hands thoroughly immediately before they begin doing any playing. High school students this year are going to be encouraged to take your child by the arm and put their other hand on your child's back as they guide them into the classroom. That will be safer than trying to touch hands. If they do touch your child's hand, they will be then using hand sanitizer because your child will be coming to the sink to wash their hands. At dismissal, which is the opposite of arrival, please pull as far forward as possible and still remain on the sidewalk so that we can get perhaps 2 or 3 children out to their cars at about the same time. So we will be putting them in their car. Please let us know if we need to do the buckling into the car seat or if you or your child is going to do that. Again, keep in mind that high school students may not step off of the sidewalk. So if your child typically sits behind you, behind the driver's seat, you will need to get them out, walk them around the back of the vehicle over to the sidewalk where the high school student will be waiting for them to escort them into preschool. It's very important that I keep my high school students safe as well. So thank you for that. When you are finished, you simply follow the drive around and come back to the beginning of the drive that you came up to preschool. And you will have the opportunity to look at that when you come for the open house. So those of you for the first time, will make sure you feel comfortable with the drop-off, arrival, and the pickup process. All right. Now we'll go on to talking about snack for a moment. We will have a paper snack calendar available at open house. Your child's birth date is already marked on that calendar. Sometimes if your child's birthday is on a weekend, we might have done it on a Friday or we might do it on a Monday. So please look at that date and see if that will work for your family. The other dates that are open, you can write your child's name on, and then we're going to make a digital copy of the snack calendar so that it will send you an email reminder. So please, once a month, and not even that often, if you don't want to do that often, if you just want to do it once or twice during the year, that would be great. Please keep in mind no nuts. We have children with nut allergies, so we will not be serving nuts. But when you send snack, it's something like a box of goldfish crackers, a bag of pretzels. It could be some individually wrapped Rice Krispie treats. Something like that is perfectly fine. You can send individually wrapped, or you can send a big box that we would distribute to the children. Again, the adults would be wearing gloves as we distribute to the children. Please, nothing homemade this year. We cannot accept that. We could accept cookies that were made like from Hy-Vee or Walmart at the grocery store because that's in a controlled environment. All right. Any questions, please just feel free to ask me. We did ask parents to send a jug of juice in at the beginning of the year. I'll put out in the newsletter when we need more. We have limited storage. Anytime, if you're bringing snack and you want to send a gallon of milk, that's appreciated too. All of that helps our budget this year. Thanks. Now let's talk about what the schedule's going to look like for your child when they come in. They're going to come in being escorted safely in by a high school student, greeted by Mrs. Fay and I as well. They're going to wash their hands and they're going to begin playtime. When you see the classroom this year, it's a lot more wide open, so we have open spaces for children to play. Toys will be wiped down to the best of our ability between children, but after the morning children leave, all of those toys will be cleaned before the afternoon children come in. We'll have circle time after playtime, and that will be spaced out on the carpet in circle time, and this year we're using stars as our shape. So those will be in the carpet, and we will be asking children to sit on the star. Earlier in the summer, I had mentioned we might use hula hoops, and that led to another problem of touching, so we're going to be using stars. We're also using vinyl stars on the tile to help children space themselves as well. When we do small groups, which would be led by a high school student or Mrs. Fay or I, those are going to be in groups of 4, spaced out at a table so that there is enough space between children. Again, your family is being asked to provide for your child a pencil box that will have crayons and markers in it. We will be adding the kind of glue that I like to use in preschool. I bought that for your child to go in their pencil box, and we have scissors that your child can use while they're here. And when it's appropriate and we need it, we'll get that fat pencil for your child to use. So your child will have their own utensils, tools that they'll be using during small groups. For a little while, as we all learn the processes, we are thinking that what we will do is half of the children will eat snack and half of the children will go outside to the playground, which is attached to preschool. That will give them enough space that we could have a mask break during that time. And then after about 10 to 15 minutes, we'll bring the children from the playground in, wash their hands, and then they will be able to eat snack while the group that was eating snack can leave their mask off and go out and have some playtime. And then we'll bring ourselves together at the end of the day. So also part of our routine will be lots of hand washing. We do have 2 child-sized sinks, and we find that the children are really happy to wash their hands in preschool. 1, it's an expectation that we have, and 2, everything is built just at their size. So with the child-size sinks, we also have child-size toilets to use. And we have a plastic shower curtain, we had typically had cloth over there that separated those. We have plastic shower curtains that can be washed much easier for children. They are low enough that the children have privacy, but we as the adults can see in to make sure if they need any help. It will be important at open house night that you and your child check out the bathrooms so your child feels comfortable with that process. Okay. Again, as much as possible, we're going to be leaving masks on, and I'm going to go through the high school process in just a minute, but the adults in the room will be wearing masks as well. We understand that not all 3s and 4s will like all of that, but I do think that we can learn for it to be part of our routine. We appreciate that what you've done at home, you've talked about children getting to wear a mask instead of having to wear a mask. That word will be an important piece. Quincy Public Schools does have a black cloth mask that they have made available to your child, and so when you come to open house, if you would like to have that, we'll make sure that you have that. If not, I will always have extras here at school. So let's say a child does have a big sneeze and the mask that they're wearing might not be something we want them to continue wearing the rest of the class period. We'd get that safely put in a baggie for you, and then we would have something clean for them to wear. Yes, if your child has a mask from home that has Ninja Turtles on it or has Paw Patrols or something that's their favorite, absolutely they should be able to wear that mask. We would ask that it be clean each day, please. All right. Now let's talk a minute about tuition. This year I'm going to ask families to pay tuition only for the month that we're in. Please don't pay ahead for the year. That led into me having to get refunds back to some of our families, and that was kind of a logistical concern. So this year, please just pay your tuition $75 in the morning and $60 in the afternoon. And please try and pay it by the 15th of the month. And you can put it in your, you can put it in your child's book bag. It is great if you just say, when we come to the car to get your child, you can just say to us, there's a check in the book bag, and we'll know to look. We do look in book bags every day. If you have cash, I would really appreciate it if it's in some kind of envelope or a baggie and it's labeled with your child's name, please. That is really helpful to me. And within the next couple of days, a receipt, a white receipt, will be in your child's book bag. That is your receipt for you, and if you need that for tax purposes, you can have that. Because the high school students will be waiting out by the door to get your child out of the car, if your child is going to be absent, I really appreciate it if you can let us know that so we're not continuing to wait for them out by the door. You can text me. I'm actually here at school at 6 o'clock in the morning, so you can send me an early text. On the flip side, I'm usually in bed by 9 o'clock. You can do that. You can send me an email. You can let me know your child's going to be absent, and we do appreciate that. Remember, your child does need to be fever-free for 24 hours with no Tylenol, Motrin, or anything like that before they return to school. Or they need to have taken medication for 24 hours if it's something like pink eye or something that a strep throat that the doctor has prescribed some medication. They have to have been on that medication for 24 hours before they return to school. And so if you have questions about that, just give me a call or a text. And if I have questions, I have access to 2 school nurses who can help me with that information. We're going to also ask you as parents to please put an extra set of clothes in your child's book bag. Now, you're welcome to put it in like a Hy-Vee grocery bag or a big Ziploc bag, but if there would be a toilet accident, it is so much easier to help your child through that process if we can put them back in their own clothes that are clean. We always have clothes here, and we would never leave your child wet. But if we can, it is really helpful if you could put another set of clothes in your child's book bag. And kind of check then when it gets to be fall, maybe put something long sleeve in there or long pants in there, because you never know when we get so excited at snack when we're talking that we have an oops and we end up with juice in our lap. It's nice to be able to put kids back in their own clothes. If we do send your child home in something that belongs to preschool, the next time you do laundry, please wash it and just send it back. Thank you. We in preschool use the Remind app as a way to communicate with parents. In the digital handbook that is attached to the email that you would have gotten this link from, it gives you the class code. Mrs. Fay has tried to go ahead and log all of you already in on that, either in the morning class or the afternoon class. That is a closed group. People cannot join this group, so it is closed to only our families. But I am giving you that code in case you want to share it with a grandparent who might be the person doing some child care for you, and it would be helpful for that grandparent to be getting some updates as well. If you share that, then that is acceptable if you share that class code. We will be sending newsletters home. We're still going to send them home in paper, and they'll come home on yellow paper, generally about every 2 weeks. They're still going to come home in paper because that's a high school student's requirement to be a part of that. And the high school students are a very big part of what we do here at the Vocational Preschool. Not only am I your child's teacher, but I teach Child Care 1, Child Care 2, Parenting Skills, and Child Development. So I want my high school students to learn how to send a newsletter home, but I also believe that we're going to attach that in an email as another means of communicating. So if your email, your phone number, your address, anything changes throughout the year, please get that information to us. That is how we're going to communicate with you. Now let's say your child has your birthday, and we're lucky enough to have 5 birthdays in September in the morning class. We want to celebrate your child's birthday here at school. When you look at the snack calendar, your child's name will already be written on a date that is close to their birthday. And that's the day we're asking you to send a snack for their birthday. Please, no cupcakes. They're just difficult for 3 and 4-year-olds to eat. But a cookie, a bomb pop, a popsicle, ice cream cups, we're happy to put on sprinkles or chocolate sauce or strawberry sauce. Something that your child likes is what you can send for a snack, please. Your child will get a birthday crown. They'll get to choose a present from the birthday box. They'll have a birthday card from us, and we will sing to them. But now you're saying, my child has a birthday in the summer. We'll celebrate our summer birthdays in May before the end of the school year. So we will celebrate all children's birthdays, but we will start with the September birthdays. Many of you who have been with us before are wondering about Elmer. Now, Elmer is a stuffed elephant, and we know that sending a stuffed elephant home from family to family is not going to work this year. So we're going to send a flat Elmer home to your child. He will be on cardstock and laminated, and he will come to your house. And instead of having to return Elmer, he can stay at your house. But we will have a note card, just like we would have had the notebook, the spiral bound notebook. We will send a note card home where you're going to write about Elmer's adventure with your family. Maybe he got to go to TCB1 or the park, or he got to go to dance class or karate with your family. Let us know what happens when your child has Elmer at their house. And I will read the Elmer book and have it on YouTube so that you can watch that with your child and your family. And we'll make it as much as we can like Elmer. And Elmer is with us. Whoops, here he is. There's Elmer with us, and that's our mascot. That's why he's hanging out behind me. We are going to do our best to try and have show and tell on Monday. And it is only on Monday, and it's every Monday. When we get to January and February, there is no Monday for Martin Luther King Day or no Monday for President's Day. Then there's no show and tell that week. But that reminder will be in the newsletter for you. I again am going to ask that it be things that maybe could be wiped down so that you would have wiped down that toy before you sent it. So probably not a lot of stuffed toys this year are going to be really acceptable for show and tell. And then in the past, we've sent a cloth bag home to your child, and they get to bring it the next week for show and tell about the me bag. It's called the me bag, and it's filled with things about them. So this year will be a paper version of the me bag. That starts in October. So again, I will put that information in the newsletter for you. So your child will bring that paper bag home, and you'll return it the next week on Monday with your child, filled with all kinds of things about them. Some families like to make a little poster about their favorite food, their favorite color. Oh, please include a picture of your family. We love to learn about our children's families. Maybe they want to put in there the outside cover of the favorite movie that they want, or watch, or a toy that they want. Let me just go back. I forgot to mention that Elmer typically begins his adventures in November. So we will do that then. Okay. If Quincy Public Schools goes to remote learning, meaning we are not holding school in person, then we will not be having preschool. But our high school students, as long as they are healthy, will be allowed to come to the preschool lab, and we will try and be teaching 2 30-minute lessons, some remote lessons to your children. And so we did some Zoom last spring. That didn't have much structure to it because that was the guidance we had at that point. This time when we do remote learning, it will have some more structure to it. But I do want you to know that it's possible that QPS goes to remote learning, and it's going to take me a week for my high school girls to get their lessons and their things ready before we would go to remote learning with the children. And I promise to keep you updated on how that is changing. I appreciate the fact that you're being very flexible. It is changing every day when we come to school, and we are doing our very best to provide a safe, secure environment for your child. We talked about the big girls, and this year I do not have any fellas in my program, so I have all big girls, and that's what the children will call their high school students, and they will get to know some of them by name, but they will know they're big girls. They will call Mrs. Fay and I, Mrs. Fay and Mrs. Hummel, we're their teachers, but I'm sure you wonder, what do the big girls have to do in order to qualify to be in this program? All right. They go through a background check here at Quincy High School, looking at any past referrals that they have. They're also cleared by the nurses that they have all their immunizations up to date. But as they come to class each day, they'll have their temperature taken. They will wash their hands immediately, and they'll be putting on a clean preschool t-shirt. So you see the girls every day and you're thinking, my goodness, they're wearing the same clothes. They'll be putting on preschool t-shirts that say Vocational Preschool, so they'll have clean clothes on, and they'll be putting on a clean mask when they work for you. Lots of gloves for when we're working with snack, lots of hand washing. And this year at Quincy High School, we have A and B days. So you may see girls in A team on Monday, and when you come on Tuesday, it's B team girls here. And so just so you know, you're not going to see the same high school student every day when you come. And that'll be a little bit different for the children because we've typically gone A team for a week and then B team. So please be patient as you see them come get your child out of the car, or if you see them still learning processes, because they're not here every day and we're all in a big learning curve. Also, when you come to open house, if you have not turned in some forms, there will be a table available for that. You can also pay October tuition if you want to go ahead and pay October tuition. Children's t-shirts, just like their big girls, are going to be available in yellow, and those cost $9 each, and if you're interested in that, that's fine. Please don't combine that with the tuition check. They don't go into the same places. And so it would be helpful if you are going to write a check that you do one for each. And you will be asked to fill out an emergency card that's going to have your child's name on it, phone numbers of mom and dad and grandma and grandpa if they're going to be available for pickup. It's great if I know who your child care provider is and their phone number if I ever need to get in contact with them. All the phone numbers that you want me to have will be on the emergency card. That's a set of cards that are on a ring that if we went out for a fire drill is in my hands. If we leave this room for any purpose, I have my emergency cards with me. So thank you for listening to all of this. I want you to know that I want to be as transparent as possible. Please text me, email me. You can call Quincy Votech. Ms. Carey at the main office will answer that, and she'll get that transferred over to me. Whatever you need to feel comfortable, I want you to feel comfortable bringing your child to the vocational preschool. Thanks for watching this. It's going to be a great year. Thank you.